burning, urgency, that constant maddening pressure. If you've ever struggled with a urinary tract issue, you know, this isn't just a little discomfort. It's the kind of pain that steals your sleep, hijacks your day, and turns every trip to the bathroom into a moment of dread. It's exhausting. It's isolating. And for many over 50, it keeps coming back. But here's the twist most people don't expect. What if relief didn't come from another round of antibiotics? Not from cranberry pills or powders, but from real food, fresh, powerful, healing food right on your plate? Today, we're diving into the anti-inflammatory foods that may help soothe your urinary system, support bladder health, and give you back control naturally. Let's begin with something small, something red, something ancient, the humble cranberry. Not the stuff floating in sugary juice boxes or buried in holiday sauces. Not the cocktail mix version pretending to be medicine. No, we're talking about pure, whole cranberries. Tart, rugged, raw. The way nature grew them to protect, to heal, and to stand guard over one of the most vulnerable parts of your body, your urinary tract. And let's be honest, if you've ever had that burning, aching urgency, if you've ever felt like your own bladder turned against you, then you know, a UTI isn't just a little inconvenience. It's a storm, one that arrives quietly but ruins everything in its path. And for those over 50, especially women, but men too, that storm shows up far too often. Hormonal shifts, dehydration, weakened immune responses. All of these open the door to infections that repeat like a broken record. Doctors may offer another round of antibiotics, but deep down, you're wondering, is there another way? That's where the cranberry steps in. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but inside this berry lives a molecule with a mission. Proanthocyanidins, defenders that line your urinary tract like a slick, invisible shield. They don't kill bacteria, they block them. Like turning the doorknob and finding it won't budge. Like trying to scale a wall that's been coated in ice. These tiny compounds make it nearly impossible for bacteria, especially the notorious E. coli, to stick to your bladder lining. No grip, no infection. Just a gentle push, and out they go. But this isn't just biology, it's empowerment. It's taking your healing out of a pill bottle and placing it into your hands, into your kitchen, onto your plate. And the beauty? You don't need much. Start with a handful of unsweetened dried cranberries. Chewy, slightly bitter, wonderfully alive. Or mix a splash of concentrated cranberry extract into water each morning. A small act of prevention with big impact. Because food isn't just fuel, it's information. It tells your body how to defend, how to balance, how to rebuild, especially after 50, when the rules quietly change. So maybe the answer isn't more prescriptions. Maybe it's more plants, more wisdom, more moments where we pause and ask, what does my body really need right now? Sometimes it needs something strong. Sometimes it needs something soft. And sometimes it just needs the quiet power of a cranberry, doing its work quietly every single day. In second place, but no less heroic, we find the indigo gems of nature, wild blueberries. Not the puffy supermarket kind, bred for size and shelf life, but the small, intense, almost black ones you find growing where few things dare. Along rocky hillsides, forest edges, and windswept meadows. These are not blueberries. These are survivors. And maybe so are you. These berries hold more than sweetness. They hold medicine. They hold memory of childhood summers, of sticky fingers, of cold mornings with warm bowls of oatmeal. But most of all, they hold the power to soothe inflammation from the inside out. Why does that matter? Because your urinary system is sensitive. And as we age, it becomes more so. The bladder lining thins, the tissues dry, the kidneys tire, the immune system becomes quieter. And before you know it, that low, constant flame of inflammation begins to burn in places you never expected. That's where wild blueberries step in. Silently, gently, but with extraordinary precision. They're loaded with anthocyanins, compounds that don't just add color. They bring relief. These plant pigments act like nature's cooling balm, targeting the heat and irritation that builds up in your bladder, urethra, and kidneys. If cranberries are your urinary bodyguard, wild blueberries are your urinary spa therapist, massaging away the tension, hydrating your inner walls, whispering to your cells, it's safe to calm down now. Imagine a soft river of blue washing through your body, not with force, but with ease. Cooling the burning, softening the swelling, repairing the tiny tears you never knew were there. And what makes these berries especially powerful for those over 50 is this. They don't just help you feel better today, they help you age better. They combat the silent, creeping inflammation that contributes to UTIs, overactive bladder, kidney strain, and even brain fog, heart issues, and fatigue. This is food that speaks across systems. Food that doesn't just fill, it informs. So how do you invite these healing gems into your life? Eat them frozen. Let them slowly melt on your tongue like nature's candy. Blend them into smoothies. They turn everything they touch into velvet. Sprinkle them into yogurt, oatmeal, even salads, and watch them bloom into dark, inky bursts of flavor and color. And here's a small secret no one tells you. Eating wild blueberries regularly doesn't just help your bladder. It helps you fall in love with food again, with the ritual of nourishment, with the beauty of color on your plate, and with the deep knowing that you are supporting your healing every single day, without punishment, without restriction, without fear. Because when you eat something so rich, so pure, so ancient, you remember. That healing doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's small, sometimes it's blue, and sometimes it's just a quiet handful of wild blueberries, reminding your body how to feel safe again. Number 3 is a quiet miracle you've probably been pushing to the side of your plate your entire life. Parsley. Yes, that parsley. That little green sprig that restaurants toss on your meal like a forgotten decoration. That leafy afterthought you may have chopped over a stew or tossed into a salad without a second thought. But here's what no one tells you. Parsley isn't just a garnish. It's a forgotten healer, a soft-spoken ally with roots that run deep through herbal traditions across centuries and continents. Because parsley doesn't shout, it whispers. It works quietly in the background, gently coaxing your kidneys and bladder to wake up and cleanse. You see, parsley is one of nature's most effective natural diuretics. It increases urine output without depleting your electrolytes. A rare and beautiful balance. What does that mean for you? It means bacteria have less time to linger, less opportunity to settle in and cause those painful infections that keep you up at night. More flow equals less buildup equals fewer problems. But that's just the beginning. Parsley is rich in a compound called apigenin, a plant flavonoid so powerful it has been studied for everything from inflammation to cancer-fighting properties to hormonal support in aging bodies. In traditional medicine, parsley was used to reduce swelling, purify the blood, and support bladder health, long before the word antibiotic even existed. And the best part? You don't need pills or powders or fancy tinctures. You just need fresh parsley, hot water, and about 5 minutes. Steep a small handful of parsley in freshly boiled water. Cover and let it infuse. Watch as the water turns green with life. Strain and sip slowly like a tonic. Like a secret passed down from a wiser time. This parsley tea doesn't just hydrate, it heals. It tells your urinary system, it's okay to let go. It's okay to flush out what's no longer needed. And here's something deeply important, especially for those of us over 50. As we age, the systems that once worked without effort, detox, elimination, circulation, begin to slow. They don't break, but they do grow weary. That's when parsley shines. Not by forcing the body to work harder, but by encouraging it to work smarter. It's gentle. It's affordable. It grows in nearly every garden on Earth. And yet, it holds the power to reset, refresh, and restore one of the most sensitive, often overlooked systems in your body. So next time you see parsley, don't brush it aside. Don't let it wilt at the edge of your plate. Invite it in. Let it steep. Let it soften you from the inside out. Because healing doesn't always come in a bottle. Sometimes it comes in a handful of leaves, waiting patiently on your counter, ready to help you start again. Number 4, bring something special. Not just healing, but comfort. Deep, inner comfort. It's ginger. That golden root with its wild twists, peppery scent, and centuries of wisdom tucked inside every knot and curl. You've probably seen it 100 times in the market, maybe passed it by, maybe used it once or twice in a stir-fry. But beneath that rough, earthy skin lies a natural fire. The kind your body has been quietly craving, especially if you've been battling inflammation, tension, or that stubborn urinary discomfort that seems to return just when you think it's gone for good. Ginger has been used for thousands of years, across continents, across empires, across generations. But here's what makes it truly extraordinary for urinary health after 50. It doesn't just help, it knows how to help. When your bladder is inflamed, when your urinary tract feels raw, irritated, and tender, that's not just bacteria talking. It's inflammation, your body's overreaction to stress, irritation, aging, and imbalance. And at the center of that process are enzymes called COX2, the very same inflammatory triggers that ginger quietly silences. Ginger blocks these enzymes, not in a harsh or artificial way, but with the elegance of a plant that has had millennia to perfect its purpose. It doesn't numb you, it soothes you. It doesn't suppress your system, it balances it. Now picture this. You wake up feeling swollen, tense, or simply off. You boil water, you take a fresh piece of ginger root, firm, fragrant, full of life, and grate it into your favorite mug. A squeeze of lemon, a dash of honey, steam rises. As you sip, warmth floods your chest, then your belly. The discomfort softens. Your shoulders fall a little, and your body, which may have been guarding itself for days, finally exhales. That's ginger therapy. No pills, no pressure, just presence. And it doesn't stop there. Ginger improves circulation, allowing nutrients and oxygen to reach those deep tissues often left behind, like the bladder lining, the pelvic floor, the kidneys. It helps relax spasms, it supports digestion, it even boosts immune function, all of which are deeply connected to your urinary health. And best of all, it's endlessly versatile. Steep it into a tea that soothes and warms from the inside out. Add slices to broth, soup, or bone stock for healing depth. Stir it into oatmeal with cinnamon. Blend it into smoothies for a gentle morning spark. Or simply chew on a slice after meals, a folk remedy used for centuries. But beyond the science and the recipes, ginger brings something that's hard to explain, but easy to feel. Trust. It doesn't rush. It doesn't promise instant miracles. It reminds you that healing is a rhythm, not a race. That sometimes the most powerful medicine is the one that meets you where you are. Not to change you, but to support you. So when your body feels tight, irritated, or inflamed, when your bladder speaks in pulses of pressure and pain, turn to ginger. Let it warm your hands. Let it calm your system. Let it return you to yourself, one sip, one moment, one quiet miracle at a time. Because sometimes healing isn't about doing more, it's about doing less with something true. Last but never least, number 5 brings us to something small, almost unnoticeable, but packed with quiet power. Pumpkin seeds. Or as some herbalists call them, nature's prostate protectors. They may be tiny, but don't let their size fool you. Inside each little seed is a shield, a blend of minerals, healthy fats, and plant compounds that were designed by nature to guard the very core of male health. And after 50, that matters more than ever. Let's talk truth for a moment. Many men don't talk about urinary issues. Not the constant urgency, not the weak stream, not the way sleep gets stolen night after night by endless bathroom visits. It's uncomfortable. It feels like losing ground. But often, At the heart of it all is the prostate. And that's exactly where pumpkin seeds go to work. They're rich in zinc, a mineral so vital to prostate health that low levels are directly linked to prostate enlargement and inflammation. Zinc isn't just a supplement, it's a message to your cells. Stay strong, repair, protect. It helps your prostate function the way it was always meant to, supporting healthy urinary flow and reducing that frustrating feeling of not quite empty. But zinc is only half the story. Pumpkin seeds also contain phytosterols, plant-based compounds that help lower levels of DHT, a hormone that contributes to prostate growth and urinary restriction. In simpler terms, these seeds help turn down the volume on the internal signals that cause pressure, swelling, and nighttime trips to the bathroom. And here's what's truly beautiful. You don't need a prescription. You don't need an appointment. You just need a small handful each day, scattered over your salad, blended into a smoothie, or eaten by the palmful as an afternoon snack. Toast them with a little olive oil and sea salt. Sprinkle them onto your morning oats or Greek yogurt. Keep a jar by your desk, a quiet ritual of care in the middle of your day. Because every seed is a reminder. Healing doesn't always come in big gestures. Sometimes it comes in small, crunchy, zinc-rich steps, taken daily, without drama, without noise, but with great effect. And it's not just physical. Taking care of your prostate, especially after 50, is an act of self-respect. It says, I'm not giving up power, I'm reclaiming it. It says, this body still matters, and I will protect it, nourish it, and listen to it. So don't underestimate these little seeds. They may be small, but they carry the strength of stone. And with every handful, you build something, not just stronger urinary health, but a future of freedom, confidence, and quiet strength. Because health after 50 doesn't mean holding on, it means returning to center. And sometimes that begins with something as simple as a seed. These aren't some exotic, overpriced superfoods you have to order from across the world. These are real, whole foods found right in your grocery store. Foods that speak your body's language. Foods your cells recognize, absorb, and use to restore balance from the inside out. Because this isn't about covering up symptoms with a quick fix. This is about healing, quieting the internal fire of inflammation, nourishing the tissues that have been quietly struggling for years, supporting your body's own wisdom to return to ease. Imagine waking up without that constant urgency, that feeling like your bladder runs the show. Imagine a life with fewer nighttime interruptions, more peace, more dignity, more energy to do what you love, and less time spent in worry, discomfort, or shame. You deserve that. We all do. So now I want to hear from you. Which of these healing foods have you tried? Which ones surprised you the most? What worked? What didn't? Let's talk in the comments, not just as viewers, but as a community of strong, wise, experienced people who are taking their health into their own hands. And hey, don't keep this to yourself. Share this video with someone you care about, someone who's been quietly suffering, thinking this is just part of getting older. It doesn't have to be. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Because here at Stream Smart 50+, we believe growing older should come with more freedom, not less. Let's age with power. Let's age with peace. Let's stream smart and age strong together.